What you got there?
It's my orange chocolate.
Orange chocolate.
One piece?
Yeah, I do. What's up, everybody? Garrett here with Nathan Ramsey. Welcome to another outdoor podcast. Doing something different today. We got us a guest on the phone, Mr. Hunter Williams, and so we're going to roll the intro and talk birds.
About to get real.
Golly, Jimmy.
He weren't about to get out of here.
Let him get nice and low.
Those feathers, bro.
Hey, I'm ready, but oh, they're going to get a steady pass this morning. And by golly, you're doing it.
Put the smack down, baby.
This just got dirty in a hurry.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Sorry, I'm
smacking on my orange chocolate.
finished eating my snack. I was chewing as fast as I could, trying to hurry up and get this thing down before the intro quit, and I ran out of time.
It's all right.
But anyways, welcome back. We are here for another one, and today we got a special guest. I call every guest special, but I guess they're all special. But our good buddy, that's my other thing that I always
Everybody's
say.
good buddy.
Everybody's good buddy. But today we got our good buddy, Mr. Hunter Williams on the line. What's going on, bud?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. How about yourself?
Doing good. Thanks for asking.
So, little backstory on us with Hunter. I feel like we know you pretty good because we've chatted a lot, but we've really only hunted together one time last year.
Yeah.
We ended up meeting you through a mutual friend, Mr. Noah Lamb, which we've had on the podcast.
Right.
And we came up there and shot some geese with y'all. It was a real good time. Pretty special day.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, so we met you and actually we shared the blind with you that day. I think we sat down there on the end with you, and
Sure enough, I think you even got to see my dog pick up her first bird at that hunt.
that was her first
I
bird.
didn't know that.
Yeah, that was her first bird she ever picked up that hunt. My puppy Kimber, anyway.
Nice.
Even more special then.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. So, but yeah, so we kind of met you, through a mutual friend or whatever, and we've just kind of chatted here and there, and know that you do a lot of duck hunting, goose hunting and stuff, and that's our kind of people right there.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're
So
good people to get along with.
yeah, from time to time we like to try to get some guests on and talk to different people, and just, naturally me and Nate just run out of boring stuff to talk about ourselves. So, let's it's always nice to throw somebody else in there, especially somebody that we don't talk to all the time. So it's like, I don't necessarily know everything that's going on because we don't talk super often. So
Right.
just thought it'd be good to get you on here and chat a little bit. So,
Yeah, man.
how's your waterfowl season going so far this year?
Man, it's been going pretty good. Haven't hunted too much around home. Made a trip out to Arkansas. We hunted out there for the opener for their yearly opener or whatever. We hunted the first 4 days out there. Came back home, and our season opened up back here Saturday. We had some birds found here and some public here close by to the house, anyways, and had a pretty good hunt Saturday.
Nice.
But other than that, it's been pretty good. The goose hunt kind of came a little bit to a halt for us, anyways. Here recently, we haven't been able to find anything too good. But
Yeah.
everybody's still out there taking the miles away, anyways.
That's right. Yeah, I talk pretty regularly with Noah, and seems like he it's been tough for everybody in the goose department here lately. I know it sure has been for us.
Right. Yeah, him and old Dustin, they some goose loving guys right there.
That's right. So you backing up to the Arkansas trip, you do that every year, don't you? Or you at least have the last couple of years, haven't you?
Yep, I do. I'm actually supposed to be going back the 26th after Christmas. I'm going to leave and go back out there for, I think, like 10 days or so.
Nice.
Go back out there and hang out with them boys a little bit.
Now, I got to ask, I couldn't help but notice, excuse me, in your pictures from this year and last year, you hunting with Dr. Duck and Billy Campbell. How did that come to be?
Oh yeah, so I've been on with Drake Waterfowl. They got a little pro staff program that I've been a part of for, I believe this will be my 6th year coming up, anyways. And anyways, one of my other good buddies, Hunter Helms, that lives out there in Arkansas, he's a part of their group too and everything. And
okay,
kind of just met him through the Drake Facebook page on there, and we just kind of started talking. And first year I went out to Arkansas, he had told me, previously before I ever even met him in person, if I ever came out that way, to get up with him, and we try and make something happen, get up and hunt and whatnot or whatever. So we were out there, and sure enough, I messaged the guy, and he was gracious enough to end up hunting with us next morning, and kind of just, we hit it off pretty good and became friends, and he, like I said, he was gracious enough to take us in and kind of help us out. We became good buddies over the years or whatever, and Dennis and Billy are good friends of his, and kind of met them through him, and they hunt together every year out there, and I go back every year now, so they're usually out there, and just good guys, man. They don't tell anybody they can't hunt with them. You know what I mean? We run in, as long as there's room and we can do it safely, they'll let anybody hunt with them, and just really good guys. So
now, are they as cool as they seem on video? They seem like they would be super cool, man. Guys.
They're a trip. They are a trip for sure. It's never a dull moment with them boys, man. They always out there cracking jokes, especially Billy, him and his smacks.
He seems like the class clown for sure.
Oh, it's ridiculous, yeah. Even if you ain't shooting no ducks, you just look at him, he'll do something, you'll start laughing. So.
Hey, you got to have that guy in the group, especially for those slow days.
That's right, yep, for sure. He makes it a lot better.
Do you make that trip by yourself, or are you driving out there by yourself, or?
No, so obviously it's not too terribly far, but it's like a almost 13 hours from my house anyway. So Hunter usually tells me to bring a buddy anyways. That way I ain't making the drive, that long of a drive by myself.
Oh yeah, that's a haul by yourself.
Yeah, usually I try and stay out there as long as I can. So usually whenever I get back, late at night or early in the morning before daylight, usually I got to work that next day. So it kind of helps out too. We split driving up or whatever. It just makes it a whole lot easier. Plus just safer on top of that. So it works out good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm making it twice this year. So just got back from Oklahoma not long ago, and about to turn around with Garrett and go back here in a couple of weeks. So
nice. How was it out there?
It's good, man. I'm ready to get back out there. I look forward to it every year, but this year got to add in some deer trip to it as well. So that actually was fun, taking my dad out there. But the drive was a lot better. I can't quite convince Garrett to split that drive up into a multiple day trip because he don't have the vacation time. But
we got time for that.
It was definitely slower pace being able to drive. We went to West Memphis and stayed, and then drove the rest of the way the next morning. That was icing on the cake compared to what we usually do, because usually we get there and we're about worn out.
That little bit of sleep makes all the difference in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, usually we're zombies by the time we're coming back.
Yeah. Shoot, I think just drive itself, that's more tiring about anything.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've told plenty of people some of the best sleep I ever had was behind the wheel of a vehicle.
I hear you.
I know. Nate said we were driving on the way back one time, and I was asleep in the back, and I woke up and I said, I don't know, we were talking about whatever, and he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a few times there we was all three sleeping.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was a little rough. Especially the drive back, man. After being out there, we go out there for 3 or 4 days, and you're going, and then it's all of a sudden you got to hit the road again, and that's when it just, after about that first 4 hours of being on the road, everyone's just kind of nodding off.
Yeah, you call it vacation, but it is not vacation.
Oh, I know what you mean. That was us last year, especially. I don't know, but last year I was so wore out after that trip, and we don't usually leave after we get done hunting until, lunchtime or a little after, and, you get that 13-hour drive after that or whatever. I told my buddy, Carter was with me, and I told him, I'll start out driving. I don't even think I made it 40 minutes down the road. I was like, look, man, I know you just fell asleep, but I can't do it no more. So,
been there.
Well, we have a pretty good system. We go with 3. So usually one's in the back supposed to be sleeping. Sometimes is, sometimes isn't. And then the other guy riding up front's pretty much there to make sure you stay awake, just pretty much smacking you when you start dozing and controlling that radio. But it seems to work sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that system works great for going out there. It's the coming back when all
Everybody's
3 of
tired.
you are tired, and then it's like, then everybody's fighting for the back seat.
Right. For sure.
Well, cool, man. So, y'all had a heck of a early goose season this year, didn't you?
Man, we did for sure. It was better than any other year that I've for sure been a part of, and I think it may have topped Noah and Dustin and them too. But it was an awesome early season, man.
Y'all
like
seem to just stay smashing them. Like every time I look up, it's like, golly, they did it again. Goodness gracious. I don't know how y'all got any geese left.
Uh-oh.
Well, that may be our problem. You know what I mean? But no, it was just it definitely wasn't one person. It was a group effort, and everybody in the whole group that hunts with us, everybody was riding, several days a week. And if it wasn't for everybody doing it, it wouldn't have happened. You
Absolutely,
know what I mean?
It takes a team for sure.
That's right. Yeah, everybody was both feet in, all hands on deck, and that's the only reason it all happened like that. Everybody was watching something every week, so
yeah,
it worked out good.
So I know you're a big duck hunter and you're a big goose hunter. Which one? What's your passion? What's number one?
Oh Lord, if I answer that, Noah might not talk to me no more. No, I really do enjoy goose hunting, and I grew up hunting everything. My dad and grandpa hunted, and got me into it at a young age. So I've kind of hunted everything, my whole life growing up since I've been old enough to pretty much shoot a gun or hunt or whatever. So I like it all, and I've always told people, that talk to me to choose a number one. You know what I mean? It's all equal to me. I enjoy it all just the same, and there isn't something I like hunting more than the other. It's all when the season's here and it lines up and it works out right, right and everything. I enjoy it all just the same. It's awesome. So any of it to me is just as fun as the other.
You're not going to be the only one eating these.
Sorry. Oh, I'm listening to you.
I wish
just
I could
had a
share
mouthful.
some of this chocolate orange with you, Hunter. But so, are you driving right now, or are you home?
Me?
Or yeah.
Yeah, I'm home. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm home now.
So, your dog that was on that hunt with us last year, you just got one dog?
No, so that was my puppy, Kimber. That's actually my older dog, one of her pups, and my older dog Remy. She turned 8 December 1st this year, so she's getting some a little bit of age on her and stuff. So I decided to keep one out of her last litter.
Gotcha.
And, I probably won't breed her again just because she's getting older and stuff like that. So I wanted to keep one from her, but
That's smart.
My oldest dog Remy. She's been my my kind of one that's always been there with me anyways. My first duck dog and stuff like that. She's been on just about every hunt I've been on, especially a lot of good ones and stuff like that. So
And you travel with her and everything?
I do. So she's made all my Arkansas trips with me and stuff like that. And 95% of the duck hunts that I still go on, she's with me. I'm trying to give her every hunt I can right now while she can still do it. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely. Now, do you train your dogs yourself, or?
Yeah, I've messed with them a little bit. Kind of, I guess, got them started a little bit. But no, I got a guy that my dad knows and stuff that trains them here at home, and he does a really good job with them. And gets them going really good and stuff like that. So
cool.
That's one thing we've never actually dove into. Me and Garrett have always talked about. We really enjoy having a dog, but we also usually are holding a camera, so it's kind of one of those.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to juggle hunting, filming, and now a dog. So we need some other people to get some dogs. But it's we enjoy having them, and I know that most people I know that have hunting dogs, that's pretty much your best hunting buddy right there.
Oh
so
yeah.
I miss not having that experience sometimes, but
it definitely. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it definitely makes everything better. I mean, there ain't nothing better than watching good dogs work. There's a lot of my buddies have good dogs as well, So I mean, sometimes we draw straws or whatever you want to call it, and who's gonna bring the dogs? We don't always have good places where we can hide every dog we got. And I think we got like four dogs, between all of us, 4 or 5 dogs, and so it definitely makes the hunting better. And like you said, it can get a handful sometimes. You add a dog to the tree next to somebody runs a jerk string to you, and you add shooting, calling, and everything else. It gets a little crazy at times, but it all works out. So.
For sure. Yeah, last year was the first season that we had a guy in the crew that had a dog, and man, it's been awesome having a dog. Just for one, from the hunting side, just the the convenience of having the dog and what a dog's capable of doing. For one, just making life easier on retrieving birds, and then
from a camera standpoint,
and then finding birds that you might have never found that a dog will find, and stuff like that. And then just from the camera side of things, like you were about to say, that it's just everybody loves watching a good dog work.
The only thing better than taking pictures of a dog retrieving one is a kid retrieving one.
Right. So it's I'm glad to say that we finally have a crew member that has a really good working dog, because it's very enjoyable for sure.
Oh yeah, enjoyable, nice seeing them work, and definitely helps out.
Absolutely.
So yeah, especially whenever you throw one of them geese out there about 150, 200 yards, and things out there walking.
Thank God we don't got to go that
walking that far.
All you got to do is say the magic words, and that thing's gone. He's got it before you could even get out there to it. So.
There's a lot of work goes into it. I know I've heard a lot of people, they were hardcore into taking dogs with them. People just think you take a dog and they go and retrieve birds. No, I mean, you're putting a lot of time and effort and training and discipline into that dog, and it's good to see one that actually, a good hunting dog. It's awesome to watch them work. So.
Oh yeah. I give props to all those guys out there that train dogs too. That's a lot of time and patience goes into that. I don't know that I could do it.
I know I couldn't.
Yeah, them guys, they're special. They got some unreal patience.
Absolutely.
But they do some great work. It's cool what they can teach them dogs to do and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask if y'all been duck hunting any, or how y'all season was going.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm honestly behind from normal. It's been, I feel like we went hard in September, October, and we had a few good hunts. Overall, it was a very tough early season, for sure. And then I feel like kind of let off the gas a little bit, and then just kind of hunted here and there. I definitely haven't been as much as I typically have by this time every year, but
I don't think I've been on an actual duck hunt yet this year.
Yeah, you definitely haven't been much.
I haven't been on any duck hunt. So,
but yeah, it was. I actually went out this morning for a little bit just because I didn't even have anything. It was like complete going on a whim hunt, but it had gotten so cold. I was like, man, I just really want to go. Just had that itch to go, and you know what? I don't care whether we shoot nothing or not. I just want to go. And it was nice. We actually had some sheet water ice and stuff, which we don't get very often. Mm-hmm. So it was like, man, it's actually really cold like for once. But yeah, it I don't even know what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? I just hadn't, been a little bit here and there. We'll just leave it at that.
A little bit here and there.
Yeah,
that's how it's going. That's how the season's going.
It's pretty much a little bit here and there.
Right. Yeah, we hadn't been much at all here home this year either. They been pulling the water on the lake and keeping it down so people could work on their docks this year and stuff like that. So it's really been pretty dry.
Yeah.
Where we usually hunt at, it's been pretty bad. If it wasn't been for that rain that we got some good rain here. I think it was Thursday before opener, and it pretty much flooded the river back out again and kind of helped us out a little bit, I reckon. But
so y'all had a pretty good opener?
Yeah, we had a great opener. We were pretty lucky on that one. So
what were y'all hunting?
Do what now?
What were y'all hunting?
We hunted ducks.
Okay. Were y'all like hunting a pond or timber?
No, we hunted
swamp
some public land down here on the river where we usually hunt at. Stuff like that.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad y'all had a good opener. I didn't even go for our opener, which is saying a lot because I don't know that I've ever. This year is probably the first year I've ever not went on an opener, and it wasn't from lack of trying. I literally scouted every day last week, with maybe an exception of one day, and it was just like, I don't know, just nothing lined up. Found some birds here and there that couldn't get permission on them, or they just weren't going where I needed them to go, or just yada yada. But it just didn't work out, and I said, well, I guess I'm gonna sit this one out and just watch everybody else kill them for once.
Yeah, that's Dustin here. He's been riding so much and stuff, and just haven't been able to come up with anything. We got him on watch.
Now, have y'all's geese been just like lazy, just like straight up not moving, sitting on water all day?
Yes, I mean we found some geese, but I mean it's been small numbers, 20 here, 30 here, maybe 40 here.
Yeah.
There's just been small numbers, nothing real congregated or anything like that. And the ones that we have found, it's like they're just not leaving from the pond that they're on or whatever it is. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's weird. They're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? They're not going to feed, that we're seeing or finding anyways, and it's just not seeming like they're leaving. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, the couple different groups we've been watching is kind of that same thing. Like I kind of got a mix of all of it. We got one good size group that's just straight up just sitting on the roost all day, like literally not going anywhere. Then we got another decent size. They are leaving, but they're just going straight to town. Can't do nothing with them. And then another group that's just a small group. It's just like they're just so inconsistent. Here today, gone tomorrow. They might be there, they might not be, and just can't get a consistent pattern on them at all. And it sucks. It's been a lot of scouting and no hunting.
Yeah.
But
I know what you mean.
It'd be like that sometimes, I guess, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I noticed you had less hair. You've been pulling it out. Or?
Mama said there'd be days like this. She just didn't say they was going to come in bunches like bananas.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. Get out there and ride. Whether it be on the road looking for geese or on the boat looking for ducks, whatever it is. I mean, if you don't go, you ain't gonna find them. That's for sure. So.
Right. So, when you're duck hunting, you mainly hunt public, or are you hunting private too? You doing both, or?
Well, I think we've got out of my whole group that I duck hunt with, I think we might have one or two private places that we hadn't even hunted them in the past 2 years because we just hadn't had anything on it worth going. You know what I mean? But other than that, all we hunt's public.
Yeah.
Just something all of us grew up doing. I grew up kind of doing it, and kind of just like y'all know it gets frustrating at times. With other people and stuff or whatever. Ducks getting bumped around, leaving, or whatever it may be.
Sure. We got more duck hunters than we do ducks, for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's here 95% of the time too. But I think that's honestly what kind of keeps bringing us back. We kind of like doing it, and I guess kind of a little bit of the frustration of it. I guess it's more of a challenge and stuff like that, or something. I don't know.
Well, when it does pay off, it makes it super rewarding.
Right. Yeah. Like the hunt we had for opener or whatever. We were all that's what we've been wanting, so made it all worth it. But.
So y'all mainly hunting like river systems and stuff?
Yeah, rivers, lakes, whatever, wherever we can find them. Potholes, swamps, beaver swamps, whatever it is.
Wherever, all over.
Yep.
Well, that's something that I feel like we don't talk a whole bunch about, and that was a lot of the reason why I wanted to get you on here, was just because I knew you do a lot of duck hunting and a lot of public land duck hunting and stuff. Like, what without giving away all your super secret tricks and tips, what's for somebody that might be new into duck hunting and stuff, what any kind of advice or something for somebody who's trying to find ducks on public land? This episode is brought to you by Odie Sporting LLC, the creators of the Triptych, the original bird hunter's multi-tool, with features for both waterfowl and upland hunters. We encourage you to go check out the product at www.thetriptych.com and make sure to use promo code TEAM910 for 20% off your purchase.
Yeah, man. I guess, if you got time to do it, scouting, obviously.
Hold on, let me write down these notes.
Yeah, I hear you. But now just scouting, that makes all the difference in the world, and I guess whenever you find ducks, just keep from bumping them, you know what I mean? Park, walk in, whatever you got to do, you see some people out there, we kind of call it, cove hopping or hole hopping, whatever. They'll just drive their boats right up to it, wide open. They'll cut into a cove or a hole or something, or run on pad all the way up to it. A lot of people's got mud motors and stuff, which are obviously a lot louder than your outboard or something. They'll just wide open all the way to it. If there's birds in it, they'll jump up, of course, and they're like, all right, well, there's some birds, you bump them birds out, especially on public where they're already pressured so much, they're going to be gone. They're not going to come back, It's just kind of frustrating, especially if you do find something, that you've been watching and it's pretty good or something. You know, somebody else finds it and they come in there and bump them all out. You know, that happens once. You know, with mallards here, you know, they're gone. You know, wood ducks, if you got a bunch of wood ducks or something lined up or something people bump in, you know, you might get 2 or 3 bumps out of it. If they bump it more than that, they usually push out themselves too. So
Yeah.
it gets frustrating, but like I said earlier, I think that's something that kind of keeps bringing us back. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, 100%. You know, scouting, just try and keep from bumping birds.
Being where they want to be.
That's right. Yep. So
Easier said than done sometimes, but
yeah,
definitely. I mean, I think anybody that plays the waterfowl game, or really just a lot of just hunting in general, is being where they want to be. I mean, that's
right.
I would say pretty much across the board. That's tip number 1 there for sure.
Yeah, for anything, you know, not just waterfowl. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say it all just goes into how much time you put in. You know,
Right.
you put more time you put in, the better it's going to be. You know, you may get lucky if you don't put time in. You may get lucky a couple times, but
Yeah.
to be consistent at it, you know, just put all the time you can into it. If you ain't got much time, then put what you can into it. You know what I mean? So,
That's right. So y'all sounds like y'all hunt a variety of different kind of setups. What's your preferred way to hunt ducks?
I tell you what, I love. I like shooting mallards. Mallards are, you know, fun ducks to hunt and shoot, but I love getting on a good wood duck shoot in the beaver swamp for opening day here early season with my guys. That's something we all look forward to doing every year, shooting a bunch of wood ducks on opening day. Now,
You sound like you're from North Carolina, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, you got to work with what you got. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's tip number 2. Work with what you got. Sometimes it turns into a McGanzer smash. Yeah.
Hey, whatever you can get, you got to take it around here. So
Oh, yeah.
I know the first year I went to Arkansas, me and 3 of my other buddies went out there that I hunt with here pretty regularly, and we had a group of mallards come in, and my buddy Hunter Helms that lives out there, he wasn't even shooting. He said, "Y'all go ahead," you know, whenever they came in the hole or whatever. And I can't even remember how many mallards it was. It was like 6 or 7 of them, and we rained out the whole volley of them anyways. And he was like, "Yep, I can tell y'all been shooting wood ducks." But yeah, no, they give us a little bit of crap for it. You know, they'll land, you know, group of wood ducks or something in the hole, you know, we all just look at each other and smile, and they don't even pick up their guns, you know.
I'll tell you what's the hardest thing is going from early season goose hunting to opening day of ducks, and then you go from shooting geese to shooting wood ducks. Now that's a transition.
Oh
right
yeah.
There.
Yep.
They will humble you
Slow
very
down.
fast.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or like early teal or something. Like I ended up going on one teal hunt this September, and you know we had been goose hunting 4 or 5 times, and then went and did that, and I was like, "Good Lord, that's a big difference."
Yep, for sure. Yeah, you'd be sitting there 5 minutes before shooting light, and you'll have a group of them buzz by you or whatever, sounds like jets or something.
Yeah.
Like, dang, I don't even know being that fast.
I think that's why I like the geese so much. They're big and slow. That's more my speed right there.
Especially when they do it right. It's not like throwing a pillow up and shooting it.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all fun.
Yeah, that's. I mean, even when we definitely don't hunt ducks in general as much as we used to, but especially like wood ducks. And that used to be like all I did for the longest time. And then you get used to doing that a bunch, and then you go out west, like we take our annual trip out to Oklahoma or something, and then you go from past shooting wood ducks at Mock Jesus to shooting, big, huge, fat, late season mallards that are just backpedaling at 15 yards. And I'm like, yeah, this is more like it right here.
They're about easier to shoot than geese.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes for sure
Yeah.
when they're doing it right.
Which the past 2 years, we haven't really got our duck fix out there in Oklahoma. We've been chasing geese out there. So this year, changing it up a little bit, we're actually going to, chase ducks when we're there. So that's going to be a good turnaround for us.
And I can say I am super excited about it. Like, it's, just because, like Nate said, the last couple of times we've been going out west and more chasing like little geese and stuff. And so, the first few years we went out there, we just, stayed around our buddy's hometown and really just put a hurting on ducks and stuff. And we did that for a few years, and then we just wanted to change it up. So we did for the last couple of years. And this year we've decided we're going to change it back to how we originally did it. And man, I'm so pumped about it.
Go back to the roots.
I feel like I'm more excited. Maybe it's because this year has just really been tough.
Yeah.
That I think that makes me look forward to this trip even that much more, because it's like I need some relief. I'm so excited about going out there and just shooting the piss out some ducks. I need it right now. It can't get here soon enough for sure.
Oh yeah, it makes it a lot better.
What's going to mess you up though is before we go do that, we got to take a trip a little bit up north and go kill a bigger bird.
Yeah, we got our swan permit.
Up.
We're supposed to go do that.
Like
I think
2 weeks, isn't it?
It's 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, something like that.
Weeks.
You got a swan permit this year?
I wish I did. I ain't never been able to draw it.
No.
Dang.
Nope, I never drew it. I put it in with other people that have drew it, and I still didn't draw it.
Man,
I'll tell you this:
crazy.
Garrett shot the first one when we went 2 years ago.
Yeah,
2 years I think, and that's a heck of a thump when that thing hits the ground.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Oh yeah, the first one. Well, the only one that I've ever shot. It landed in a little like a puddle in the middle of this flooded field. And dude, I bet the splash went 10 foot in the air.
Oh, Lord.
I was like, golly.
Yeah, that was a thump.
That's funny.
But yeah, hopefully we'll get up there and do that. I can't believe you've never drawn.
Yeah, I've tried. Yeah, yeah, I've tried. I had never had any luck. My dad drew it one time, a long time ago, back when I was a kid. But
maybe I've just been lucky. I've only put in twice, and I drew it both times.
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you ain't holding your mouth right.
Yeah, I'll try it a little different next year. I'll use the other stuff.
You ever go up on the east or anything up there around Pamlico, Hyde, or anything like that? You do any hunting up there?
I haven't done a bunch. No, I went there for like 2 or 3 years back around like 14, 15, and 16, I believe. Y'all remember what year it was? We got that big freeze out there on the Pamlico. Was it 16 or 15? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm horrible with dates. But yeah, I would say it was probably.
I'm horrible with memory.
The Pamlico stand looked like a slushy.
Yeah, I remember seeing videos of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's
we were out
probably
there
about
that
right, somewhere between.
Yeah,
I'd say
it was,
15, 16, somewhere in there.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, that was the last time I had been out there, I believe. And yeah, I mean, we had great hunts out there. We hunted the Neuse River down there, like right before all that real cold weather hit. Like the day before, 2 days before, and shoot, the ducks were there. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it was about like hunting anywhere. I mean, we shot our limit of mallards and everything. It's crazy.
Nice.
But
I wish we got those kind of freezes every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet that year, and we went out there in the Sound the next day or whatever with my buddy knew a guy that ran like a guiding service out there, and he took us out there the next day and shot our divers and stuff like that. But it was fun. There was a lot of ducks there when we were there, but that was the last time I've been back out there.
Yeah,
I used to enjoy it. We used to go pretty regularly to like Pamlico and spend the whole day up there hunting, and it's hard because you can't. It's a long drive to go up there if you can't get time to scout it first. It's like you're going kind of on a whim to drive up there and make it for the weekend or something on a Saturday.
I just don't really have the setup to do that kind of hunting.
Well, we didn't either. Sometimes I've been we didn't either. I've done some pretty sketchy stuff in like a 14-foot John boat across the Pamlico. Yeah, loaded down with gear and about 5 people on it. So
yep.
Things you look back on, you're like, I probably should have done that.
Boat sticking out the water about that much.
Oh yeah, it was not safe. So lessons learned.
Talk to you guys when you get back home. You're like, yeah, I don't think we should do that next year if we go back.
Right. We're going to need a bigger boat. That's where that saying came from, right? Not from Jaws.
Yeah, it was from us.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
But I miss doing it, man. It was good because it was a different environment, and
we
never got there. And we would go out there and set up, early in the morning or late Friday night, and then hunt it all day Saturday. Take a grill, cook breakfast, the whole nine, and spend the day.
Right.
And it was fun. It was fun to do. But then you said earlier, with people showing up and just blowing through the spot. I mean, I remember one time sitting there and it was like right before shooting light. I mean, like maybe 2 minutes. Like we're literally watching the clocks, and here come a group of kids on like a ski boat, and they pulled up 150 yards from us, not even that, maybe. Pulled up on the bank, got, speakers all over the back of this thing, and they just sat on the back of the boat like they were going to shoot some ducks. And they did shoot at some ducks, but they were about 10 miles in the sky. And we were just, at that point, we were like, well, this is over. So,
yeah, they'll do it. That's a terrible feeling whenever you, especially if you got birds lined up, you know what I mean? You get there, you get the hole and everything. People roll up, 10, 15, 20 minutes before shooting light, or even later than that. I've seen it, they'll roll up at shooting light. It's like, what the heck, and they'll do it in the mud boat, the thing, you hear it coming, time to leave the boat ramp. They'll come rolling up in there, if it's public land, you just hope they're respectful about it. You can't really tell them to leave, you know what I mean? Anybody can hunt wherever they want, but
I'll tell you what, probably the craziest one that I've experienced with, not necessarily, I guess it could have messed us up, but fortunately it didn't this day. But earlier in the year, I went up and just did a little quick weekend trip with my buddies up there in New York to hunt some geese. And we're hunting this field. It's, private land, that they got permission on or whatever, and we're goose hunting this field. Luckily, we were kind of in a lull. There weren't no birds flying. But we just all of a sudden see this dude walking across the field, walking towards us. And we're like, what the heck is this dude doing? So we get up, and my buddy Jake, he just starts kind of walking to him. Ended up getting up to the guy and talking to him. He's like, hey, I live in that house over there, and I just wanted to come over and say hey and introduce myself.
Oh, thanks.
And we were like, are you, like I said, it didn't mess us up. I'm sure words wouldn't have been as nice if we'd have been like working birds or something, but luckily, maybe it was just coincidence that we were in a lull, or maybe he just was nice enough to only come out there when there wasn't nothing going on. But it was just like, who just does that in the middle of a hunt? Just, hey guys, just how you doing? My name's Bob. I stay in this house over here. Just if you need anything, let me know.
Yeah.
I'm like, golly. But no, it was all good. But it was just that was different. Talking about people just showing up in the middle of a hunt.
Yeah.
Didn't you have one, like when you were goose hunting one time, had a guy on like a golf cart shooting at birds?
I did have that one time. If you want to talk about some very interesting stories, but yeah, we were hunting a field, and guy lived in this house across the street from the field, and when the birds were getting off the water, we were hunting in an afternoon feed or evening feed, and when the birds would come off the water, they came right over his house to this field, and by the time they topping the trees behind his house, they're locked up and just gliding across right to this field. It was pretty as you could ask. And then all of a sudden we just hear pow, pow, pow. Dude's out there in his golf cart in the front yard, sky busting these geese at 100 yards in the sky.
Oh gosh.
And of course they just all pick up and lift, made a big circle over top of us about 100 yards in the air, and peeled out and went to roost. Yeah.
Did Della tell y'all about the opening day goose hunt we had this year with the old man behind us?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we were we were hunting this year opening day early goose season, and we've been waiting on these geese to show up, and we were sitting not far, 15, 20 yards from this fence row, facing the opposite direction. There was a road on the opposite side of the fence, So we were set up, not far from that, and the panel blinds and everything, brushed in, and we were facing away from that guy's house and everything, towards the field, and he came outside on up into the morning, and was sitting out there in his, had one of them old white plastic chairs, that your grandparents had. And he was sitting out there in his carport or in the edge of his garage. I can't remember whichever one it was he had, and he was sitting there, and everybody's looking at our our watches, our phones, or whatever, and it's getting time. The geese should be about to show up. You know what I mean? Well, this old man has no idea we're here, and he's like a maximum of 65, 70 yards from us. And I don't remember how many of us there were. There were 9 or 10 of us in the blind. 6 or 7 extension tubes, and these geese just done it. They're a big group of them.
This dude's about to backflip out of his chair.
Oh, this poor guy never.
Vietnam flashbacks.
Oh yeah. I can't believe they hadn't told you about this.
No.
But these geese came in. They sat down right in our face, and everybody in that blind unloaded, and all we could think about was that old man that was sitting back there behind us. He didn't have a clue we were there. And he was just in like World War II, you know, there for about, 10 minutes, you shoot all of them, you shooting cripples and everything like that. And he finally came over there, and he was like, boys, y'all scared me. He didn't even know we were there, Next thing, we were all unloading extension tubes and everything, geese falling everywhere, but he was cool about it. But I'm surprised we didn't give the poor guy a heart attack.
All I could think is you were saying, because you mentioned that it was one of them old white plastic chairs, and everybody knows that them chairs, they sit out in the sun and they dry rot and then they get real brittle. I was just waiting for you to say that he like jumped and snapped the chair.
No, he wish I had been watching him when everybody started shooting. So I don't know what he actually done, but I can only imagine how bad it scared him.
That's awesome. Was he like facing y'all or?
Yeah, he was facing us. I can't remember. He's up there reading his newspaper or whatever he was doing. He was just, enjoying the cool September morning or whatever. And, we're set up, 60, 70 yards from him across the road facing the other way, and he never even knew we were there. Poor guy.
Sitting there holding a cup of coffee, probably spilled it all over.
I wish I could have watched him whenever everybody started shooting. But
he walks up in his gray sweatpants are a little wet in the lap.
But y'all had a heck of a turkey season this year, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I can say that we had a good turkey season this year.
That was awesome, man. I watched her. I think y'all did some videos on it, didn't you?
Yeah, we did a few videos, which actually we still got a couple of them that we haven't even put out yet. They're just kind of ran out of season before we got to put them all together, because that's the challenging thing is when it's hunting season, you're just kind of go, and it's trying to make time to edit videos and keep hunting and keep scouting and keep, and it just a lot of times we'll try to at least get one or two of them out, and then if we don't get the rest of them out, we'll have them ready for next year. So.
Right. Yeah, I remember seeing y'all's pictures. It was kind of like you were saying with us with geese this year. It was like every day I'd, open up Instagram or something. I was like, golly, they done it again.
Oh yeah. I kept telling Noah, because I know he had a tough go this year, and I kept telling him, come on down, and he always says he's going to, and then he just never does.
Yeah.
That's me calling him out.
Noah, he's as busy as he wants to be.
Yeah.
But no, he's a good guy. He did have a tough season though. But
you turkey hunt, I assume.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I saw one of your posts. It looked like you'd kill one with a bow. Have you done that, or was that a buddy that killed it?
Yeah, no, I've got one this year. I didn't shoot one with a bow this year. I had a buddy that he actually got me into trying to shoot him with a bow or whatever. She's that guy. He's pretty daggone good with the bow. He shoots recurves. He shoots their head off a recurve and everything.
Dang,
man, that's awesome.
No, I think he had a buddy that was doing taxidermy school or something like that, and he wanted a turkey to mount, to practice on.
Yeah.
And he had killed one, and he gave him a turkey to mount, or the guy said he'd mount it for him for like some cheap price or something. Anyways, he got it mounted. So now he uses it as like a full body mount decoy for whenever he's shooting turkeys with a bow. So he'll set that thing close. Them turkeys will come in there, close, 6-7 steps outside the blind, and he'll shoot their heads off with a bow. And that's who shot the one this year that I ended up filming. But he's I've used his setup with him or whatever. I think twice. I've shot 2 turkeys with my bow with him.
That's one thing we've been wanting to do. I haven't done it, but I want to do that so bad.
Yeah, it's awesome. Especially you get them that close. It's just.
Now, you think like once you do that, does it make it less exciting to shoot one with a shotgun, or how does that work with you?
No, I mean, so he's kind of that way or whatever. He only shoots them with a bow. He won't take a gun for nothing. Yeah. It don't matter what you say. He won't take his gun. But now I ain't gonna lie to you. I got pretty tore up shooting them with my bow. You know what I mean? Them things come in that close. You can see them blink. Just hear them drumming that close. I'm spitting and drumming or whatever. It's different that close and everything. But I ain't got no problem rocking one out there 30 yards with a 12 gauge. You know what I mean? That gets me just to tore up.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's all the feathers go everywhere and stuff. So
I just like things that go boom.
Yeah. You had a big boom with it.
But I could see how if people start shooting them with a bow, I just with it being more of a challenge and more up close and personal, like I feel like I could see how people would kind of get bit by that bug, and then that's like shooting. Not that
I look at that just like deer.
I'm not saying that shooting a turkey with a gun would be less challenging because I'm not trying to play it down. But like I could see like once you do it with a bow, you would feel like maybe a gun's not as much of a challenge.
But see, I'm going to compare that to like deer hunting because I've deer hunted both with a bow and a gun, and the bow is great, and I love bow hunting, and I want to get back into bow hunting deer. But it's one of those things after you do it for a while and the deer doesn't come close enough and you see him, you have to watch him walk 100 yards away. At that point, you're like, you know what? I got a trick to this.
You start bringing both.
Then you go back to the gun. Same thing with the turkey. I know we've had some turkeys hang up before. You get one to hang up out there at 40, 50 yards and you're just kind of like, you know what? I got a fix for this.
Well, there's a reason I have no desire to kill one with a bow.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it either way.
But yeah, I would love to film one for sure. Though I think it would be cool, something different for sure.
Absolutely.
Maybe one day I'll eventually talk Nate into it.
Hopefully. Yeah. We've been trying to film a scoot shoot for a while, but me and you ain't built for that.
No, we need to film one, not do one.
Yeah. I'll come film y'all run around this year soon or next year.
Yeah, we need to hook up for turkey season.
Oh yeah,
that'd be fun.
I'll film you. I don't care nothing about shooting. I get just as excited filming.
That's how I am.
I've gone seasons without ever touching a gun.
Yeah. But
yeah, I feel like when it comes to like waterfowl with shooting ducks or geese, like I love filming it, but at the end of the day, I really want to shoot. So like, you know, luckily me and Nate's got a good system where we're able to trade back and forth. That way you still get to, you know, scratch that itch and still get to film at the same time. But when it comes to turkeys, like turkey hunting, I can truly say is one of those things of I literally don't have to do anything. I could just sit with my back on the tree and watch somebody else do the whole thing, and I would shake just as hard. Like, you know, it doesn't matter. Just being there. So,
absolutely,
you know, I'd be quick to grab a camera when it comes to turkey hunting. I mean, that's just one of them. Just being in the middle of that is just as rewarding.
Right. Yeah. I honestly think I get more tore up because, you know, I took several kids youth hunting, you know, over the past couple of years, you know, and they've killed some turkeys with me and stuff, and I filmed them and everything. I think I get a little bit more tore up just because, you know, the birds coming in, I don't know what they're thinking, you know what I mean?
Right. You're nervous for them, yeah.
I'm like, what's about to happen? You know, is he going to shoot? Or, you know, times I would usually shoot, he hadn't shot yet or anything. I'm like, what's he doing? You know, but it all works out. I tell you,
I think one of the most tore up I had been on a turkey, and you'll know this, is when we took Billy.
Be worried, son.
When we took Billy to kill our buddy Billy to kill his first turkey, and he was sitting in front of me. I was behind him, and I was
kind of off each shoulder.
Yeah, and I was kind of like off to his left shoulder, but I was behind him. Like we couldn't look at each other or nothing like that. And I had called the bird in, and then Nate was filming, and then Billy was on the gun, and had the bird just walking all around the decoys, and I was like, shoot him. Well, come to find out, where he was sitting, the tree was like right in his line of sight. And I just kept telling him, shoot him. I was trying to be quiet, and just like each time, if you watch the video, each time I get a little louder and a little louder and a little louder. What? And I'm like, and all of a sudden the bird starts like walking off, and I start like panicking, and I'm like, shoot the bird.
Well, the tree had blocked his sight, and then I stopped him because he got where I couldn't see him in the camera no more because I'm at a different angle than you are. And as soon as he finally shot him, he's like, "You had me worried, son."
Dude, I was straight panic mode.
He's gonna leave.
Like it wasn't the shaking of I'm like shaking because I'm scared that we're about to get busted.
You were you were mad.
I was shaking because like I can't believe this. We just pulled this bird in like 300 yards. He danced around the decoys, and now he's leaving, and he's not shot. Yeah, it was. I'm getting fired up.
Don't get worked up yet. Don't get worked up. We got some other things to do first.
But yeah, I love it, man. I feel like if you ask anybody, that tell you that waterfowl would be my primary thing, that I like chasing ducks and geese more than anything. Right. But if you want to sit here and talk, I feel like I could just talk turkeys forever. I don't know. Yeah. Something about them just gets me going.
Right.
You do any deer hunting?
Oh yeah.
You do it all. You're the one-stop shop.
I do it all. Deer, duck, rabbit, turkey. It don't matter.
Coons, possum, coyotes.
Now, not too much. I mean,
cheeseburgers.
Yeah, but Now that's the only thing I really don't really care for is fishing.
I feel you there, buddy.
I don't do much fishing.
Yeah, I don't know why I live on the coast and don't like fishing, but yeah,
because you live on the coast.
I guess because I live on the coast.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, I deer hunt quite a bit. That was the first thing I ever started hunting.
Same. It goes back to, like I said, that trip I took with my dad. I got to actually take my dad. He's never been on a trip, so that was awesome just to take him and let him experience that and see in his face, and had a good time and able to share that experience with him, because that's the first time I've ever been on a deer trip. And we annually do the waterfowl trips, but that was definitely a highlight right there for my year.
Right. Yeah. That's just kind of something I want to do with my dad too. He's not too old, but he's had some accidents and stuff, where his one of his legs don't work as good as it used to, you know what I mean? And that public land stuff gets kind of hard on him and everything, especially early season when water's not up or whatever it may be, having to walk so far, several hundred yards or through mud or whatever it is. You don't really do too good with that, but I would like to.
I don't either.
Yeah, I'd like to go somewhere out, on a trip or something and shoot some mallards, in a field with a guide service or whatever it is, just something easy, where we still beat them up or whatever, something would be fun for him too.
Sure. But, so you grew up hunting. He raised you hunting from a kid?
Oh yeah. Yep. Him and my grandpa, sure enough. They started taking me deer hunting when I was 3 years old. They bring a little coloring book or something, piece of paper or something.
Yeah.
And I'd sit in the bottom of the box, stand color or sleep on. He'd wake me up when deer came out. If he had time, if not, I'd just get scared whenever he shot or something. He took me duck hunting. I think I killed my first duck. I was either 6 or 7. I can't remember how old it was now, but he carried me into a beaver swamp and killed a hooded merganser. Great.
Hooded merganser. I wasn't going to guess that, being you said North Carolina beaver swamp.
Yep. Well,
I can't get my dad to get into duck hunting. He's like, it's too cold. He said, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, that's how my grandpa is. He hadn't ever duck hunted, but he always calls me crazy.
Yeah, I remember.
I told him to go a couple of times. He's like, I ain't going out there standing in that water. I was like, it ain't what you think.
Yeah, that's my dad.
I tried to get your dad to go goose hunting with us one time, and I was like, I always just, because I don't deer hunt or nothing like that, so I was just ragging him. I was like, man, you go goose hunting, you won't worry, you won't ever even want to go deer hunting again. He said, well, then I definitely don't want to go goose hunting then. He said, you done talked me out of it. Yeah. But it's so I know you said that you're going back to Arkansas. Is that the only other trip you got planned? You got anything else? You ever go anywhere other than Arkansas?
No, not for ducks anyways. That's one of the only places I've been to.
Yeah.
I don't plan on going anywhere, unless something just comes up or whatever, and I can make it work. But other than that, that's probably all I'm going to do till next year, and I'll be back out there, I'm sure. So.
You going out there with the same crew that you went with earlier in the season?
Yeah, more than likely it'd be the same guys. Hunter lives out there. Dennis and Billy, stuff like that. Got another buddy named Nathan. He's from Nashville. He'll be out there. I think a couple of his buddies will be there with us this time and stuff like that. So it'd be a good time. Hopefully
I bet that is fun. That's one thing that's still on the bucket list, is to go do some real flooded timber in Arkansas one year. Something that I definitely want to go experience at some point.
Man, it's awesome. It's just those guys out there, that's all they hunt really, but coming from here, going out there, you know what I mean? It's just going out there and you can actually work some ducks, you know what I mean? Very rarely around here do you get to call the mallards and work mallards,
Right.
From shooting light until, on up 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, you know what I mean? It's just something special, and you may not shoot them every time. I mean, we don't shoot them every time. We went out there this year, opening day, opening 4 days, and we got it handed to us. We didn't shoot hardly anything, but that's how it goes sometimes, and you don't always shoot them. Don't matter how many miles you're putting in or whatever, it just don't always work out. But
now I heard, and you could confirm this because you were there for opener, I heard that Arkansas had a lot of ducks and no water.
The ducks were there. It's just water. You know what I mean? The weather. I mean, it was cold. the weather was right. The ducks were there. The amount of ducks that was there was crazy. But seems like there's always some piece to the puzzle missing. You know what I mean? You got water, you got weather, you got no ducks. You got ducks, you got weather, you got no water. It's always something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, but it was still fun. I mean, it always makes it better, like we was talking about earlier or whatever, you got the people that you hunt with, you know what I mean? Even if you're not shooting ducks, the people that you hunt with can make it, fun and still just as enjoyable as anything, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with, good hunts and subpar hunts and bad hunts. And it's like, if it was always good, it wouldn't be special.
Right.
And if it was always bad, you'd quit going. It's just like, you kind of got to have a mix of all of it to make it right.
Yep. It's good for you. So.
And it just makes you appreciate it when it does come together.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Hopefully it'll be better this time anyways. But.
Well, yeah, man. So when you said you're leaving out right after Christmas?
Yeah, the 26th. I think season for non-residents out there comes back in the 27th, I believe. So.
That's right. So their season is different for resident and non-resident, right?
Right. On public out there, yeah.
You think, is that just because they get so many non-residents every year they have to let the locals have a turn?
There's a lot of non-residents to go out there.
Yeah.
I know you go to the boat ranch out there on public, like this year whenever I was out there for opening and stuff, majority of the people's non-residents. It's crazy. Which there's a lot of residents that, I know some that won't even hunt, opener. Just
I was going to say, I bet there's a lot of residents that don't hunt on non-resident opener just because they know it's going to be overcrowded.
Right. Yeah.
So y'all get to do the whole boat race and all that stuff?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Does that get pretty sketchy?
A little shotgun start.
Yeah, me and one of my buddies a couple years ago, it was actually the first time I'd even met him, Nathan. And he's like, "You're a little guy." He's like, "Get in my boat." He's like, "You won't weigh me down that much." He said, "Can you run?" I was like, "Yeah, I can run." He's like, "Okay." He said, "Whenever I hit the bank," he said, "I want you airborne." I said, "Okay." So that's what we did. So, we 4 a.m. hit, and there we went or whatever. I was up there laid out on the front deck like a starfish or something. And, I seen the bank coming. He's like, "Right there it is." And we hit the bank or whatever. Before we hit the bank, I was already airborne, my feet was already kicking. So I hit the ground running, and we got the hole. We had a pretty good shoot that morning too. I can't remember how many we killed, but we killed like 20 some, I think, that morning. It was a good hunt.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, I think that was the first time I ever rode with him, and I told him again. I was like, "I ain't never riding with you again. You crazy?" And he had just a little stock edge with a Tohatsu outboard on it then, and now he's got one of the new Reaper boats,
Uh-huh.
Got him a 2-stroke Mercury on there or whatever. It's a little bit faster, and I was like, "Yep." It's just that means I'm not riding with you anymore.
Even more reason, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that just done me in right there. But
that's awesome. It sounds like a blast.
Oh yeah,
it is. It's just it is what you make it. I reckon. Some people get pretty mad out there. There's several people that don't really like us out of staters or whatever. But
I'm sure.
Like I said, I'm thankful. My buddy Hunter out there and those guys that live out there allow us to come out there and hunt with them. And
then it always helps when you got some local buddies, because then you don't get looked at as bad. Like we go out to Oklahoma, we got buddies there, so it's like they don't even like out of staters, but we're with them, so it's okay,
Right. I was kind of feel the same way. Maybe, they see us with them or whatever, they're like, okay, well, maybe they think they're okay, so maybe they're okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. At least it gives you a little bit of local street cred if you're with the locals anyways.
Yeah. But, so I'm just thankful they took us in, they treated us like they've known us, a whole life. We were all good friends, So I think Hunter's even going to try and come out here to North Carolina and try and kill some turkeys next year. Him and one of his buddies named Jake. So.
That's cool. Yeah, we ended up getting our Oklahoma guys to come shoot turkeys with us last year, and
I think I did.
it was super cool. Like, you know, the fact of, you know, we've been going out there for 5 years now, something like that. This will be our sixth
year,
something like that. So it's like, it was super cool. The fact of getting them to come down here and, you know, finally getting to kind of return that favor, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And not only just, you know, gave us another opportunity to get to spend time together and hang out or whatnot, but just to kind of, you know, every year we're so grateful that they allow us to kind of, you know, team up with them and do some hunting and stuff. And it's just nice for them to come out here and let us give them a little bit of payback and just help show that how thankful we are for what they do for us, you know?
Right. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel. You know, they let us come out there, take us in, you know, like we've known each other our whole life and everything, you know, at least want to do something. It ain't like I can invite him out here to duck hunt, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, at least I got some fairly decent turkey places, so
yeah.
I tell him to come out here and shoot some turkeys, so I think he's going to end up coming this year finally. So.
And that's what makes it so awesome. Like, isn't it just crazy, like, how you can just meet some of the best people in the world halfway across the country that, like, you know, just total strangers that, like, just instantly become family like that. It's right. A special thing.
Right. Yeah. Right. I wish the whole duck hunting community was like that, but unfortunately it's not. You know, it ends up a lot of duck hunters end up working against each other just because they don't want to get along and stuff like that. But
right. There's always the good apples and the bad apples for sure.
That's right. Right.
Well, cool deal, man. Well, I think we can about start wrapping it up. We've already been talking for an hour. Can you believe it?
It's crazy.
Start talking birds and it just flies through.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on here.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you joining us, and good luck to you the rest of the season. I keep telling Noah let's line up a hunt. So
yeah.
I told him if we come up with something, I was going to holler at y'all, and vice versa. And I was really hoping we were going to be able to line something up by this year, but seems like you're dealing with stubborn birds like we are. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe they'll straighten out here soon.
That's right. If not, there's always next season.
Right, that's right. But yeah, I appreciate it. And good luck to y'all too, and y'all stay safe, man.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, man. Y'all take care.